back to StabilityWOD. Today we're going to talk about the Achilles tendon again, but this time in the context of how it absorbs impact. Now I used the word nodule yesterday, which is when there's like a lump or a bump or like a little marble in the tendon that you can feel, which is a sign that that section of the tendon has gotten little micro tears in it, and your body's tried to reinforce that, try to create a reinforcing of that part of the tendon, because over time, because the tendon has been stressed, usually in a pronation direction, the body's tried to reinforce that. That sometimes can lead to a rupture where the tendon completely breaks. Now, it's important to know that the Achilles tendon in humans is very unique in that it's one of the most adaptable tissues in the body. People can do incredible things, from jumping to landing to running for miles and miles and miles, primarily because of their Achilles tendon and how well it adapts to its ability to absorb impact and then release that energy again. So, as I said yesterday, as long as it's operating in a vertical orientation, you can load that thing again and again and again, and over time it will get thicker and thicker and thicker and stronger. And some of the ultra runners that I treat and some of the jumping athletes that I treat have these just bomber Achilles tendons, which are incredible. Again, what we want to avoid is when the tendon's moving side to side too much, especially when we're doing impact. So with some creative editing, we're going to cut to the tennis courts where this video shows me doing some double unders, and you'll get to see how I can control the amount of foot pronation. And remember, some foot pronations is essential for me to absorb shock from the ground, but I'm controlling how much foot pronation I have as my feet hit the ground, and that eventually carries over into running.
Now as I head into doing single unders here, that's where the rope goes under my feet one time for every jump. You're going to notice that in the air I'm supinated, my arch is relatively high, but when I land I have a moment of pronation where I absorb shock from the ground. You can see the muscles in my lower legs contracting to support my midfoot and my ankle so that my Achilles tendon can store that energy in its vertical orientation and then quickly release that energy as I jump. Now as I move into doing double unders here, that's when the rope goes under my feet twice for every jump. It's hard to see that in slow motion. You can see how effortless it looks for me to get off the ground, almost like I'm floating. And because my lower leg muscles are supporting my midfoot, once they absorb shock, they quickly reload and release that energy so that I can float up into the air much more effortlessly. Supinated in the air, pronated when I hit the ground, and quickly I resupinate, stiffen up my foot so I can launch up into the next jump. You're going to see from the other angle the same thing. My right foot is supinated in the air, pronates, very quickly I release that energy. All of the muscles in my lower leg, which you can see contracting when I land, are responsible for setting the calf up to being able to do this. Now in fast motion you're going to see just how hard this is to see and how incredible it is, how fast our tissues can store energy and release it.
So when I'm doing double unders, my lower leg muscles and my foot muscles now have to coordinate to be able to control my foot pronating and help it resupinate as I'm landing, storing energy, and then releasing that energy to jump up into the next double under. Double unders are a very high level movement, so I usually encourage people to start with slow single unders and then progress up to double unders after that. Once you feel like you have good foot control doing double unders, your Achilles tendon is no longer reacting to the stress of impact, that's when you can start to add back in running, where you actually have some propulsion. Your calf is actually propelling you forward, and the stress on the tendon, again, is even higher, especially if you're a midfoot striker. So I encourage you to try these things out. It just brings more awareness to what your foot and ankle are doing in space. Bring these muscles back online so they're better able to support your calf, give it a solid foundation from which to operate from. Thanks again for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please take a second to subscribe, and I always appreciate when you share with your friends and your comments, of course. See you tomorrow.
So this is an image I saw on the UW campus at the Art Museum of this whaler up in Point Hope, Alaska at the end of whaling season, and he's getting tossed on whale skins up in the air by the villagers. You can imagine the intense forces on this guy's Achilles tendons as he comes down, lands on the whale skins, and then launches back up into a backflip again. Such a beautiful picture. Incredible summer festival at the end of their whaling season. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. Reminded me of the amazing Achilles tendon. Props to the photographer.